Not that long ago, the idea of new Harry Potter content really excited me. It might seem hard to believe now, but there was a time when I was young, naive, and unaware of what was about to happen. A simpler time.
And I mean, really excited about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
They even released a trailer
so
this week.
excited.
And
And
literally
it just looks
sequels.
so good.
Whoa, okay, that's enough. Back to me. You see, last week we received the news that Fantastic Beasts 3 has been delayed, and I feel nothing. I honestly feel nothing. I want to be upset and care, but I don't. This is coming from someone who really enjoyed Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not, but I genuinely loved being brought back to the wizarding world. But now, it's just gone to the point where I don't think this series is ever going to finish. Like, yeah, on the one hand, this delay could be seen as a great sign that they're spending more time to get it right, but the pessimist in me knows that money's playing a part here, and maybe Harry Potter just isn't as valuable an asset as it used to be. Which, I mean, isn't really a revelation. The last Harry Potter film came out in 2011. See, after that, they took a 5-year break from the series, and while the core fandom is still strong with merchandise sales and theme parks, and, I mean, there are full-on YouTube channels just dedicated to making Harry Potter content that are really quite successful in 2019, in case anyone's watching in the future. Make sure to comment down below if you're watching this after all 5 Fantastic Beasts films came out and I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll be reading the comments to this video in 7 years' time. With all that said, it just isn't the box office juggernaut it used to be, and I'm not just pointing out that Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 finally got knocked out the top 10 highest grossing films of all time, but that did happen 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, because alongside being the least popular Harry Potter film in terms of critical acclaim, by a long way, it also made 20% less at the box office than the next lowest grossing Harry Potter film, being The Prisoner of Azkaban, which I guess doesn't define whether it's good or not, because that's a really good film, but yeah, you get me. Which very well might just be a one-off, and the next film will be way more popular, rendering this video completely useless. But I'm willing to bet it's not. Like, considering the reaction I've seen so far, lots of people already seem done with this series. I know it's way too soon to start placing Fantastic Beasts 3 box office predictions, but I'm going for $537,456,327. Give or take a few dollars. Which with a $200 million production budget and an undisclosed but presumably another $200 million spent on marketing and putting ads on every street corner, that's hardly any profit, which is one thing on its own, but take this into account given the recent box office success of a certain Avengers Endgame, I don't know if you've heard of it, and honestly just superhero films in general creating this superhero golden era, as I like to put it. The whole movie-going dynamic is changing. But when a Marvel film comes out, it isn't about going to the cinema on a Friday night and seeing what's on, it's about putting that date in your diary, pre-ordering tickets the moment they're released, so much so that cinema websites crash a month before Avengers Endgame came out. There's nothing else like it. I mean, I was talking about how there are dedicated Harry Potter channels out there. If you want to have a successful channel on YouTube right now, literally just do exactly what they're doing, but Marvel themed. There's a gaping gold mine of a market over there, and I don't know why I'm suggesting this publicly, rather than just doing it myself, but I can't really try new things anymore. I've been typecasted on YouTube. I mean, if you do get success, just remember where you got the idea from and collab with me when you have a lot of subs. Like, just to really put into context how much the movie-going dynamic has changed for me personally, I remember at the end of 2016, Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them came out about 2 weeks apart, and I was 10 times more excited for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which actually went on to gross more at the box office. And I know it's not overly fair to compare one of Marvel's standalone origin stories to the first Wizarding World film in 5 years, like Civil War did make $1.1 billion earlier that year, but now with Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald being Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and Avengers Endgame on the verge of becoming the highest grossing film of all time, I'm more excited for their Untitled movie on November the 5th, 2021, than I am for Fantastic Beasts 3 coming out like a week later. Which probably isn't what I should be saying, considering Warner Brothers literally just sent me this Detective Pikachu hairband thing in promotion of Detective Pikachu, and that's the first time they've ever wanted to work with me, and I really hope we can work together more in the future. I'm not the kind of person that promotes rival companies at your expense. I don't know who would do that. Seriously, I don't know who would do that. But you see, this is all really important to bring up, because during this superhero golden era, Warner Brothers owns the rights to Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, I don't need to, you know what DC is. They own DC. And while the DCU has Yeah. It's also quietly starting to pick up some steam, with Aquaman making $1 billion at the box office. Which, just as a side note, it took Marvel 5 years to achieve that with a solo film. And if we're talking solo origin stories, they didn't hit $1 billion until Black Panther. And I guess that's a very filtered group of their films, but there's an overarching point here. I'm getting to it. Because with the likes of Shazam and Wonder Woman achieving critical acclaim, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, directing Suicide Squad 2, you've just got to wonder at what stage do they conclude it isn't worth spending hundreds of millions on producing and advertising these Fantastic Beasts films, and therefore just cancel it. I mean, it's not as if cancelling movie franchises after films do worse than expected at the box office is uncommon. And at the end of the day, no matter how much the hardcore fans are enjoying the series, it's a business. And if they can't reach that wider audience, money talks. And the facts are, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, and Suicide Squad all made more than The Crimes of Grindelwald. And I find that really surprising because I thought all those films were flops. I mean, I still haven't even seen 2 of them. And while Fantastic Beasts is being delayed, so they're releasing 1 film in 3 years, they're releasing 2 or 3 DC films a year. And according to Wikipedia, which is of course the most reliable source of information, there are 25 DCEU films in the works right now. So yeah, I guess in conclusion, they're not going to cancel the entire franchise because 1 film did badly and there's another franchise making more money than it. I'm not trying to say that. But if we start to notice films like Detective Pikachu, which hasn't done badly considering it's out at the same time as the biggest movie of all time, doing better than Fantastic Beasts 2 and 3, or Dune, a science fiction film based on a Frank Herbert novel that I'm now afraid people are going to be annoyed at me for not knowing existed up until this moment. That's the film coming out in the place of Fantastic Beasts 3, you know, November 2020. At what stage do the talks to cancel the series start to commence? What if someone tries to buy Harry Potter in the next few years and Warner Brothers, who aren't making enough money from it, agree, and instead of continuing this series, they decide, well, we're going to reboot the actual Harry Potter series, because I'm very, very confident this is going to happen soon. And even Harry Potter himself agrees. I mean, what if the world ends because of pollution and global warming before they even have time to make Fantastic Beasts 5? Because climate change is a serious issue, and I feel like we need to talk about it. There's a lot of questions and uncertainty right now, and I think if one thing's for sure, it'll almost entirely be cleared up after Fantastic Beasts 3. And I see it going one of 2 ways. One, the 3rd one is popular and does well, so therefore they make a 4th one and presumably a 5th one. I don't think they're going to make the 4th without finishing it off. Or 2, it flops, doing significantly worse than The Crimes of Grindelwald, and Warner Brothers cancel the final 2 installments. While I want to have faith that it can be good and we'll see it all through to the end, there is a part of me that's starting to fear the worst, and I guess if I can guarantee one thing, I'll be making videos to see it all through. So make sure to subscribe to my channel, because that was just the best transition to an outro you'll ever see. You can also check out my Patreon here and in the description down below. There's a lot of things to promote. I need to say leave a like as well, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching.
Yes, I really did come this far just to make this joke.